What is up, guys? Amaya here, and today's video I'm gonna share about how I got started in the mobile auto paint and body repair business. So again, my name is Amaya, guys. Bam, and the name of my company, Bam. I'm gonna tell you from the bare beginnings how I got into this. Now, going way back, not like Genesis, but more like New Testament. I actually had a friend that I used to hang out with before I got married, before I had kids, and we would always hang out every weekend, man. And we would go and drive around, and he had a Honda S2000. We'd go to car shows and look at cars and all that. And this buddy of mine was like, "Hey, what if we just uh, buy a salvage car, fix it up, sell it for a profit?" I was like, "Man, that's a great idea. Let's. Who doesn't want to make money, right?" Um, so we thought it was gonna be easy, which of course nothing really is ever easy. Um, and we looked around, went to a couple salvage yards, and we found this one car. Is a Honda SI hatchback. It's just like the newer model hatchbacks. And it was just hit on the front. I didn't know this at the time, but all it needed was a core support, radiator, fans, and it had broken motor mounts and a few radiator hoses, and that was pretty much it. The rest of the car was in great condition, almost mint condition. Like they took care of that car. It had less than 60,000 miles on it, and we went to different people and we were like, "Hey, how much would it cost to fix this?" And nobody could help us. They were like, "Oh, we need to see the car, need to bring it here, what have you." So, um, what I ended up doing was like I told my buddy, I was like, "Hey, I am just gonna go to school. I'm gonna learn this, and when I get out, we're gonna start this business and flip cars." And never happened. Never happened. I went to school and had kids. That's what happened. So, I'm sure some of y'all can relate, but despite what I ended up doing was, I was laying in bed one night and I was thinking about the car and everything, and it was like maybe past midnight, and here comes this commercial, UTI, Universal Technical Institute, and I always thought like, man, why do they play these commercials like late at night? And I figured it out like years later. It's because all the people that are like daydreaming of doing something with their lives are probably up watching TV at night past midnight. And here I was, got suckered into going to UTI off a commercial I saw like after midnight. So fast forward a few days, I'm doing orientation at UTI. I signed up for the automotive collision repair program, and I'm all in. I'm like, let's do this. I need a career. I had graduated from high school, and it's about 2 years where I wasn't doing anything, and I was like, well, I gotta get some kind of degree, and I saw that as like a 1 year to get your technical degree to start in the collision industry. I was like, hey, why not? So went to UTI, met a bunch of friends, loved it. I was actually pretty damn good at bodywork and paint work. You can tell when you're good at something because it just comes natural to you. I actually, when I had my first class in bodywork, our teacher just banged up the door. We each got our own panel and gave us like a gallon of Bondo and some hardener, and we were just mixing stuff up and slapping it on and blocking it. And I was like one of the first ones to finish. And the teacher comes over and he feels it with his hand and he looks at me. He goes, "Are you an artist?" I said, "Damn right I am." I'm a natural artist. I've been drawing and painting since I was little. So, he was kind of impressed, and my body work and my painting skills actually turned out to be one of my core strengths. Um, so I went to UTI. Back to the story. Went to UTI, finished, graduated. I took an extra course in the Toyota program, which is like a month long. So really, I was in school for like 13 months. But I wanted to work for Toyota because Toyota was the up and coming brand. All the other car companies were getting bailed out by the government at that time, and I wanted to work for Toyota. So after I graduated, I went to go apply for a job at a Lexus body shop. You know, it's like the dealership, but they have their own on-site body shop, and I got hired, and I worked there for 2 years. I started the first year I was doing reconditioning for the used car department, and then they promoted me after a year, and I was doing insurance work for the collision cars. And so I learned a lot from working in that environment and from the people there. But the whole time, I had a friend that, from UTI, he had graduated before me and he moved to Austin. And he got a job over there doing the mobile bumper repair, uh, basically for dealerships. And I would go visit him on the weekends. And I was like, man, this is awesome. This is badass. Like, dude, get me a job with your boss. And sure enough, he ended up hiring me. I moved to Austin and I started working for this guy. And I stayed over there for 10 years working for the same guy. And I loved it. It was great. I was making money. And at the time, I took my girlfriend. We were expecting. I had a kid on the way. And, I was over there for 10 years. So what ended up happening after 10 years, my ex-wife, she parted ways. She moved back to Houston, and I told my boss, hey, look, I love my job, but I don't want to be away from my kids. I'm going to move back to Houston to be close to my kids. And so that's what I did. I moved back to Houston, and he tried to help me out. He basically told me, hey, come back to Austin. I'll have the work lined up for you. Just do the work and go home. And I was doing that, but the drive, and I was getting tired and falling asleep. So then he said, well, take one of my vans and I'll pay for the materials and gas and just do the work over there. Help, just go over there and just do the work, because he really wanted to help me out, and I was very appreciative, and that meant a lot to me. But I tried to do to I tried my best to get accounts. I At that point in time, I sucked at sales. I mean, I could not sell you a $5 bill for a nickel. You'd be like, no thanks, right? Because I sucked at sales. But in competition was fierce. I mean, there was like a dime a dozen, and guys left and right that just were trying to take your job or trying to take your account, and it's just never ending. And then the pricing. But I'll get to that in another video for you guys. But going back to the story, when I brought the van over here ready to work, I go to these different dealerships and they'd be like, no, thanks, we already have a guy. And I managed to get like one little small mom and pops. And then my old boss came and he got an account here in Houston. It was a big name brand dealership, and we started to work for the used car department. Now, the way it works, guys, for the new car department or for the new dealerships is you have your new car department, your used car department, you have your body shop, you have your detail shop, and like if one department needs a detail from this guy here, they bill each other. If the used car department needs to fix a car, it sends it to the body shop and they bill each other. It's like a little micro ecosystem, right? And so when we came in, we kind of disrupted the natural order of things. And we were taking, work from the body shop. This is just like minor bumpers or trims or mirrors. And at first they were just kind of like laughing, ah ha ha, they're gonna mess up your car and we're gonna have to fix it for you, blah blah blah. Well, on the eighth day, God said, let there be a badass mobile painter, and bam, Amaya was born, right? And so I did good ass work. I was killing it. I was so meticulously perfectionist with all my work that you could not tell this car was ever painted. I was on a mission to prove these guys wrong. And used car department, they were like, damn, this dude can paint. And so then it started giving me 2 panels, 2 doors, quarter panel, whole side of a car, a hood. And I was knocking stuff out. And when the body shop started seeing this, they were like, whoa, 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 whoa. Who is this Michelangelo? Who the hell are we dealing with? Then new car department, they got in a bind. They had a new car they had to deliver. The bumper got scraped. It had to get delivered tomorrow. Body shop said, hey, it's going to be at least a week. They were like, hell to the no. We can't wait a week. And they said, hey, Amaya, can you knock this out? I said, give me like 3 hours. Done. And I did it like in 2 hours. And they could not believe their eyes. This car was fixed and done. And now the body shop was pissed as fuck. So that's when it started getting ugly. Politics came into play. I'm talking about they were calling board meetings and all this and that. And so eventually they had this big meeting where they said, hey, whose bright idea was it to bring in this mobile guy when we have our own body shop? Somebody got fired, and it was me. But somebody else also got fired too, from the used car department. But that taught me a lesson. It was like, you know, dealerships can be very, very hard sometimes, to maintain the account and to keep it flowing. And there's a lot of politics, a lot of people, and a lot of moving parts, so to speak. But that was the last account I had. So I basically, I told my boss, I was like, hey man, you know what? I'm gonna go drop the van off back in Austin. You could be using it to make buku money over there. I'm just gonna work at a body shop here in Houston. And he tried his best. I thanked him. I was very grateful and blessed to have him do all that for me. So I stayed here. Well, my buddy that got me the job in Austin, he was actually working in Conroe, which is an hour away here from Houston. And I was like, hey man, I just I need some work. He's like, well, come on over, come to Conroe. I'll get you some work and I'll pay you. And that's what I did. I drove to Conroe every day and did work, and that's how I managed to pay my bills and everything. And then little by little, we were just kind of like thinking, well, hey, maybe we should start like building your business and expanding in Houston, because he lived at Conroe at the time. He was up north, and that's what his area. That's where his accounts were at. And my idea was like, well, what if I just stick to Houston? And there's a lot of things to do that were involved in us going to different dealerships and getting the accounts and getting everything set up. And well, it didn't work out. What ended up happening was it was just too far of a drive for me. And so um, during that time that I was working with him, what I was doing when I was back at the house, I was learning how to build websites, how to do SEO, search engine optimization, how to do marketing, how to do advertising, and learning all these things on how to put yourself on the website online. And so I'd go to work, come home, and work on that. And so I built a website, and I called it Houston Paint Guy, which is HPG. And I just built it, and it was just like the bare minimum website, simple. I mean, it probably wasn't the best, but I left it online, and I put my cell number on there, and it just sat there, and I completely forgot about it. So I'm working and this and that, and then I get this phone call one day, and it was one of the car auctions here in Houston, major car auctions. They have thousands and thousands of cars in their inventory that they run through auction every month. And they're like, hey, we need a guy to come do our recon work. Do y'all do that? And I was like, my heart was beating, because I've never been on this side of the fence where like they're actually coming to you for work. I was more of like me going to them, stuttering and not knowing what the hell to say, to like, hey, can you come work for us? Like, we have these cars that need to get done ASAP. And so they say fake it till you make it. Well, I didn't fake it, because I actually knew what the hell I was doing. And so I just said, okay, I'm gonna make it. And so I said, yeah, I can make it there on Monday, and I can do the work. just have two demos for me, and I'll do the demos for free, and then we'll go from there. And the guy was like, okay, perfect. So I went to the auction, met the guys, did the two cars that were supposedly the worst cars they had, super easy, and did the job, and they loved it. They hired me on the spot, and they're like, "Can you start tomorrow?" So I was like, "Okay." So I told my buddy, in Conroe, I said, "Hey man, you know what? I'm just gonna stay down here in Houston. I got this job offer. I'm gonna stick through with it, and I appreciate all the help." And I started up my own gig from there. I started Houston Paint Guy, and working at the auction, I was there probably for like 2 years, and I got a chance to meet a lot of dealerships that would just come and walk a lot, and they'd see me working and be like, "Hey, can I get a car?" And little by little, it started expanding and growing. And there was a point in time where I hired a few guys, and I was doing 12 accounts. This just at the same time, just moving around every week, and it was crazy. I'm talking about it was a work, 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 work. Um, but it took a lot to get to that point in time. So after the auction, I kind of started focusing on the accounts that brought in the most money that gave me the least amount of problems, because what I would always run into was the dealerships that were trying to lowball you, get you to do stuff for free, or they're just threatening you with, oh well, we could find somebody else. And I wanted to work with people that were just going to treat me with respect, and like they were going to be like, man, you're the only guy I'm gonna go to. And I found them. And so I kind of dwindled down my list of dealerships and shops, and i was I was making a good living. I mean, I was happy. And so the purpose of me telling y'all my story is to show y'all that it's doable, guys. If you have experience painting cars and doing the body work, and you want to go into business for yourself, you want to start your own mobile paint and body repair business in your town, in your city, guys, believe me, it can be done. So the purpose of this is to show y'all my history, my background, how it happened. And if y'all have any questions, I mean, y'all feel free to send me the questions, to email me. I'll do my best to reply to each one and every one of y'all that reach out. But I want to help the guy out there that has the experience already in painting and doing the repairs and all that. Because if you already know that, then it's very easy for you to start your own business. And I can show y'all the business back end of it, and how to do the marketing, how to do the advertising, how to get your website up, how to do your phone calls and your scripts and your emails and your invoicing and all the stuff, the tools that I use. So if y'all have any other questions, guys, feel free leave in the comments below. And if y'all want to request any other video topics that y'all want me to talk about, put it in the comments below, and I'll see y'all around. So thanks a lot, guys, and have an awesome day. Peace out.